I was driving home one day. I was, like I said, I was feeling really good. I had just got my license. You know how that feels. You know, I stopped by a Wendy's to get something to eat. You know, I got my double stack meal. I never forget it because it was my first experience of racism. And I think when you have those experiences, you always remember your first one because it's that significant in your life. And anyways, long story short, I was finished eating and I was walking out of the Wendy's. And as I was walking out, I was walking back to my car. A cop car just comes swinging around and just kind of skirts in front of me and stops. And the officer yelled at me and he said, hey, I don't want you niggers around here. Get the hell off the property. And at first, I didn't really believe what he said. I actually like lied to myself. I was like, nah, there's no way he said that to me. I turned around and there's no one there. It's just me. And I actually walked up closer to the car to kind of, excuse me, I didn't hear you. And he repeated himself. I'm not going to repeat it, but he repeated it in a more aggressive fashion. And I was so shocked. I just said, okay. I just said, okay. And I walked back to my car and I went home. And I guess I realized that was, what my life was going to be like going forward. Like welcome to America. That's kind of what it felt like, growing up in Germany and not, experiencing that or, hearing someone say those words, it was kind of shocking. And everything that my parents would tell me just was coming full circle. And from that moment forward, I experienced many occasions of racism, in school, in sports, in public, living in that town to where it became normal, actually. It's kind of sad to say, but it was just a part of your life. Fast forward to today, everything that's been going on television and seeing everything. My daughter, my oldest daughter, she's 11, and it was kind of hard to shelter her from what was being reported in the news. Not that I want to, but I didn't want to see her watch another man get murdered on TV. And she, I had to have a conversation with her. She had a lot of questions, and that was so hard. It's easier for me to talk to all of you, and even right now, as hard as it is to get the words out, it's easier to talk to you than it was to talk to her in that moment. And she had a lot of questions, and she was really inspired by it all. We had a conversation probably about 30, 45 minutes, and she's a very creative person. So she wrote this letter, and I just wanted to share it with you guys. And I thought it was an interesting perspective from an 11-year-old, who saw all these things that were happening in the news. So, excuse me, I just want to read this to you guys. Excuse me if the grammar is a little off. She's 11. But I wanted to share this. So, this is what she wrote. All people deserve to be treated equally, no matter what shape, size, gender, or color. If we were all the same color and same gender or size, the world would be plain and boring. Think of it this way. On the inside, if you take off the skin, we are all blood, bones, and muscle. And we all breathe the same air. So we are all the same on the inside and made from God or whatever you believe in. And we're all family and we're all together. Would you shoot your own brother or sister? I wouldn't. Martin Luther King Jr. fought and gave his life for the people in our generation. He really helped to shape the world that we live in now. But now in this generation, 52 years later, people treat Black people differently. Why is that, you might ask? Well, non-colored people who lived back then taught their children and their children's children, and so on, to treat Black people differently. I need to try and stop this, but I can't do it alone. I need your help. I will make a difference, and that's a promise I intend to keep. Please support me in my dream for Pins for Police. This is my dream that will help every Black generation after me and all people for equality together. Thank you. And she drew this, her idea of a pin. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it's a heart with it's kind of like the yin and the yang. There's a black heart and a white heart, and it's kind of broken in between, but there's an equal sign kind of mending it together like a band-aid, and which stands for equality. And then there's the pin. So Asante, you're stronger than me, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. I'm gonna get off. I don't think I can go on.
Awesome.
But